This is my initial reaction.
Hey, Mom, can I look up in the attic real quick?
That back there, guys, is stuff that never sells. No, I haven't been the greatest, but I got something good for you. I think you'll like it. Check it out. Bob offered, are you serious? $10? Or I got you an offer, at least.
Join me as we take a look into the creator, known as no other than
Pickin Steve! He hates you! He hates you too! You better believe he hates you! You sorry reseller scum!
what? That was quite exciting.
Oh, yeah.
I commented on your video the other day. Okay, Amber, guess what I just found?
What?
So, I'm on Facebook Marketplace, and you know I've been looking for Sega Saturn.
Actually, I believe I got a very good deal on this. Some other people may not think I did. Obviously, I didn't pay only $10 for it.
Pickin Preacher, this guy is actually pretty cool.
Not too bad. Guys, what is up? It is official. No non-video November has begun.
Meet me out back.
What you saw in the video here was a PS3. What? We will still show you what all we got with the 64 games. The 50% of it I'm probably keeping. Maybe not that much.
How dare you!
You do sometimes find some strange stuff.
Hey, it's Facebook here again. You do have a listing right here.
Yeah, sure, man. You know I'm always looking. What do you got?
The algorithm has proved that you would be interested in this. Only $125. Are you interested?
Brand stank new.
It's only $125.
I traded it for a guy in Discord.
Yeah, I didn't trade the game for a person. I traded it, I got it from a person.
So I was headed to the mall with hopes and enthusiasm. I'm sure lots of people would want to subscribe to my channel. I mean, who doesn't want the Lord's chicken? However, the awkwardness was definitely in the air.
Man, I feel so stupid.
So what's the point in even living if I don't have 1,000 subscribers on YouTube? Or chicken nuggets?
I'm looking for a Sega Genesis. It's called Late Stuff. No, they haven't picked up.
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine.
Hey, my name's Keith, and I'm dumb enough to think you can hear me through the glass.
Oh, here's a Sega Saturn game. What's it called? Worms.
You have Mortal Kombat? Mom won't let me play that game. Does she know?
Don't worry, man. She doesn't watch our YouTube channel. Be a nostalgia investor, like me.
Nostalgia.
What's up, guys? What's up? What's up?
Hey.
How's it going, Tyler? Good to have you on, man.
It's good. It's good to be here.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me.
Let me turn off my fan. I just realized I got this. It's probably making a lot of noise, so
No worries.
I'll turn it on later. I do get hot pretty easily, so.
Yeah.
I see your wife's in the house, so amen to that.
Hey, honey, how are you? Well, I know she's doing all right.
Good to have everybody here. Go ahead, man. What were you going to say?
Oh, no, I wasn't going to say anything.
I see an old friend of mine that I just connected with recently. Matt, good to have you on. Say hey to everybody. We got Ryan Blissett in the house, Rascal and Lucy. Another channel that's been really good at like YouTube networking. So doing a great job with Bert Beats. And I don't know if he's still on here, but we have a smorgasbord of people with different kinds of channels, and that's kind of what I like. I like, not just one. Niche. I like having people from all over. We got Tyler in the house. So he said, I'm curious how much your congregants love their pastor's retro picnic lifestyle. Retro picnic lifestyle? They're not into it, but they know me and love me, and they're cool with it. Savage Gamer, what's up? Roland Retro in the house. If you guys get a chance to check out his channel, very good stuff. I might not be able to say hey to everybody because it's scrolling through. Just keep moderators. Just keep open. Just keep open for certain individuals. So, yes, he wants to know if you play Persona games. You ever played Persona games?
No, I did once. I think it was Persona 3, and I didn't get very far into it.
Yeah.
I'm much more. I got into the Shin Megami Tensei games.
Yeah.
Than I did Persona.
Same Atlas and all that.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see who else we got in here. I always tell people just to be on. Melanie's always putting up everything. So thank you, Melanie, for putting up all the channels. Just moderators, be on alert because I do think there's somebody in here. So always watch, make sure.
Well, my daughter says she goes, it's my 2 favorite channels.
Well, that's awesome. I didn't know she felt that way putting me in there. My channel doesn't compare to yours, but that's pretty cool.
Yes, it certainly does, man. Your channel's awesome.
Man, I appreciate it. Well, guys, we'll get started. As you guys know, before I go ahead and introduce Tyler here, you know what I need to do first? I have my game back here. Can you hear that?
Not really.
Can you hear the paper mark? Okay, well, I'm just going to keep it because I was afraid it was getting too loud. What matters most to me, of course, as many of you know, some of you are, I know every live I have somebody new coming in, but what matters most to me is my faith. That's what drives everything I do. Now, this isn't a Christian channel, but I am a Christian, and everything that I have is because of God, because of what he did for me, for my soul, redeeming me from a life of sin and making me a new creature. And so I always want to offer that. I know there's people that don't believe, and there's also people that believe and are struggling. I just want to let you know the Bible says very clear, we all have sinned and come short of the glory of God, but by the grace of God, he sent his son to die for us.
Amen. I lost you there. 1 second.
Something disconnected. All right,
Yeah. I hear you now. It
must have come unplugged for a second, but yeah, if you have any questions, feel free to email me. I'll put my email up in here, and I would love to talk to you about my faith. Yep, that's right. Amen. The wages of sin is death, but the gift of God is eternal life. All sin and come short of the glory of God. Romans 3:23 and 6:23. So, he's looking for humble vessels that will, that's really the first place is admit he came to save sinners, not the righteous. So that's the first place to start is to recognize we need a Savior, and he's just to forgive. So that's most important to me. And like I said, if you have any questions, I put my email up in the chat. But we'll want to go ahead and introduce a guest here. He's actually become a good friend over the years, and our family's become, over a year. It's only been a year, right, since I met you?
Yeah, about a year now, yeah.
That's wild. So our families became friends, and it's funny because his daughter saw my daughter, and they just that's how we actually probably, because I was just going to go check out his what's it called, the panel at Retropalooza, and then our daughters just connected and they called themselves besties, like right there. So that's how we became friends. So kids will do that. Kids will connect people. So but I've been real appreciative of it. I know I've told you this, and I've told other people. I'm actually very thankful for your family because meeting you actually just really humbled me, and just really God did something through meeting you. So you've helped me a lot, and I know we don't even talk like a whole lot, but you've actually helped me to see this whole circle that I've gotten into in a whole new light. And so I really appreciate that. It's been a real humbling and a blessing getting to know you and your family, and just having good talks and sitting down and eating and just hearing your heart. And it's just been real awesome. So anyways, Tyler's the man. This is my retro life.
Well, I just want to say same to you, man. Like, your family's awesome. I love hanging out with you guys, and just I appreciate the friendship, and I thankful for you and your family, and I love how God connects people, and I love how God has connected a lot of people, even within the retro community, who are like-minded or are people of faith. I've met so many people that are also believers, and it's just awesome. It's a blessing. So thank you, Keith.
Yeah, absolutely. In fact, that's I met Retro Rick and then you right after, and that's exactly the first things we talked about was our faith and the gospel. So I thought that was really neat. It just because people know, like on that video I put up a few weeks ago, I talked about my testimony about how I kind of got pulled into everything was evil and everybody was evil. And God just really showed me, you're being kind of stupid. So I stopped being stupid. Matt said,
God
kids
has a way of doing that, doesn't he?
do what?
God has a way of doing that, doesn't he?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Matt said, kids force you to be social. And that's absolutely true. But yeah, man, go ahead and tell a little bit about yourself because, I could say stuff, but you better than anybody knows you. So if you don't mind just telling how you kind of got into this space, tell a little bit about how you started, YouTube and gaming and all that stuff. If you just lay it all out there.
Well, I mean, my dad was a gamer, and he was one of these rare, I guess, adult gamers in the 80s and 70s.
Yeah.
In the young 20 something. And loved Atari, loved the arcades. And he was just a big fan of entertainment, movies, music, and video games. Fell right in line with all of that. And growing up, he always had a video camera in his hand. Always was filming family stuff, get-togethers. He's no longer with us. Passed away in 2007, but he left behind hundreds of hours of home video footage, and many of those home videos featured us gaming. And video games was like as I've said before, video games was the conduit, that thing that helped bond him and I, and also him and my cousins. And so, video games was just a big part of our family. We were a family of gamers. My dad, me, my cousins, my aunt even was in on it. My mom a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
And, we just loved it. It was a part of life. It was a part of bonding and socializing and just all the fun, man. We had so many incredible memories forged around video games. And my channel, My Retro Life, is, for those of you watching who have never seen it, is just I've taken those old home videos. I've taken them and I've used them as a way to tell my story, tell my family story with video games. And there's a lot of nostalgia nuggets, a lot of stuff on there that people, if you love taking a trip back in time and you love video games, you're probably going to find something you like on the channel.
Well, let me say some of that because for those, I'm pretty sure everybody in here has seen your channel, maybe not. But let me say this too really quick. I don't know if you saw 89 Sigma. He actually, he's a Sega Saturn guy. So he's a fellow Sega enthusiast. So I don't know if you saw that. Your video about what happened to hear about your dad was extremely heartbreaking.
Oh, no. I did just see that. That was a tough one to do, 89 Sigma. But it was a long time coming because I've been asked that a lot as far as like, what happened to your dad? Like, how did you lose him? I get asked that a lot. And so I was always just kind of waiting to see what was the right time to tell that story. And it was time. It was time to finally tell it. And it's actually, I'm kind of glad I told the story because there's a little bit of a weight that's kind of off my shoulders as far as like, okay, well, that was a big thing I've always had in the back of my mind of telling that story of losing dad to cancer back in 2007. And so, thanks for watching it.
Yeah, and that's something I guess that most people, I don't know if you've probably heard a lot of people say, like Saturn Steve, I've heard, Riff, Pixel Game Squad. I've heard all kinds of people talk about. I say too, like whether you're into gaming or not, it's a very important channel for helping people, like even outside, to see what goes on with those that collect or are into it. There's more to it than just, hey, I want to goof off and play games. There's a place in their life that games hold. Just like a lot of people have, toys or certain cartoons. It brings up a place of innocence, and your channel really I guess would say expresses that. And so one reason I like it is it doesn't just draw gaming people. It draws people outside too, because my wife enjoys it. My family, my parents and in-laws and all that, they like that. So it draws even people that maybe aren't into games, but understand a little bit about that, because most people growing up in the 90s and 80s and early 2000s remember everybody was playing games. So, I think it's 70-something% of people play video games.
Yeah, especially like our generation and a little bit older, but everybody else coming up, that's younger than us. I mean, video games has just been part of life, since its creation in the 70s, really.
Yeah.
And, it's just, just like anything, it's going to be more and more like movies and music. It's just part of culture. And
that's right.
Yeah, I think that I've always tried to make the videos in the channel be a little different than other channels. I try to lean into my sensibilities and the things that I really love in filmmaking and content creation, and just put my own little stamp on stuff. So it's very documentary driven. It's very storyteller driven.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, and see that's actually, so I love the storytelling. I'm trying to incorporate a lot of that into mine. Let me go through a few.
I've noticed in your videos, man, your storytelling is on point and your editing is on point.
Wow.
Really, man.
Well, I appreciate it, man. So I really do.
I know how much work goes into
it's a lot. I've seen you do it.
Yeah, you watched me do it, yeah. And your stuff keeps getting better and better and better. And so
that means a lot, man. That's my goal, is to always try to make the next one better. And even if it doesn't, the next one isn't, I'm trying to, as a whole, get better. So I really appreciate
it. I mean, it's great practice, and if you love doing this and you want to keep spreading, what's great about your channel is you're right up front, like you have a mission statement that you're making with this thing. And what's fantastic, and I'm excited for the day it happens, because I know it will happen. You just keep going with the way you're editing and the way you're producing, from just the genuineness and the passion that you see in your videos. You really come through. And one day, you've already had some videos do really well, but you're gonna have a video. I know you're gonna have a video that's gonna pop. And then
that's awesome.
You've already got a great foundation of great content that's waiting there for people to watch when that day comes. So just keep going, man.
I really appreciate that, man.
You're doing everything right.
Well, I appreciate it. Coming from you. I mean, obviously you just got the silver play button. I don't know if you know Green Devil, but he shared about, he said first 30 seconds he became a sub. So thanks for subbing, man. He said he's been a long time sub of Tyler. So
yes, Green Devil. Hey, man. Yeah, Green Devil is always watching and commenting, and he always jumps into the live stream. So thanks for watching the live stream.
Thanks for coming in, and Eric Plunk as well. So right on.
Yep.
Yeah, thanks for coming in, guys. Let's see. Did you see anything in the chat that I missed? Yeah, so Savage Gamer said you're lucky to have
it. Reading in the chat. I have a hard time focusing on multitasking.
I'm the same way, man. Guys, so Bert's Beats is on everything. He's like the networking guru, so he knows everybody. He's in every live, every chat. He goes live all the time, and he connects with all kinds of people. Tyler said Castlevania video relating to the time of his father's passing was one of the best episodes he puts out. Very powerful. Yes, yeah. I want to say that it hit you, here, and I think that's really important, because you still showed the side of people wanting to have a game review or just the nostalgia, but you also did something there to, I think it connects people with you even more, which you put stuff in there about your family, even things you've gone through with your family. And then, even with, you and your daughter now, and how, more of the happy side of that. So you've gone to the hardships. So I think that's why people really, at least me, like, I mean, I like it all, but it doesn't just show nostalgia. It hits something outside of video games. And so I really like that. But you're using something common that a lot of people have. And
yeah, thanks. I mean, that's it's kind of morphed into that. As far as I didn't start out that way. I didn't start out doing that. I kind of started out with a goal, and this was like 10 years ago. I had a different channel called iRetro Gamer.
Yeah.
And I kind of didn't have the same focus on that one. I was a little all over the place. It was actually more of a vessel for me to do like film stuff. When I started on YouTube, it was just kind of a way to flex that muscle of filmmaking. I was in film school, actually right out of film school, when I first started dabbling in content creation. And I always wanted to do some sort of, I knew at some point I was like, I'd love to do a retro gaming channel. I feel like I have a lot to bring to that. And I was always inspired by guys like James Rolfe from Angry Video Game Nerd. And, these guys that put like a lot of like production values into their stuff and told stories. He came from a film background too.
Yeah, well, I think you can see it because it adds the humor and everything in there.
Yeah. So that channel was really not focused. Like it was all over the place. I was doing like regular kind of game reviews and then like a cinematic movie, short film type of thing. And I didn't really have a solid voice. The name I feel like was kind of all wrong. iRetro Gamer. People confused me with Irate Gamer. I don't know if you remember that guy.
I haven't seen it. Is the channel still up, by the way?
No, it's not. So I used to do that, and then going back to what you were talking about as far as like the storytelling and there's something different, it's not all just about games. There's more to it than that. I feel like in this incarnation, which I started 3 years ago, this My Retro Life channel, I feel like I finally kind of found that voice. It took a really long time to really realize, it's all about the old home videos and the old family stories and connecting that with the games. And I really feel like I found my voice in the last 3 years. And that's something to say to anybody who wants to do YouTube and is trying to do stuff is like, man, sometimes it takes a long time to kind of figure out what you want to do and find that voice, quote unquote.
Yeah.
But that's I want to say that's a major props to you, Keith, because you haven't been on YouTube long, and I feel like everything you're doing is like what you want to do, you got that voice, you're already doing it, and like it's really good. It takes some people a long time to figure that out.
Oh, man, I appreciate it, for real. That means a lot. It's I'm still like, there's still obviously things I'm trying to tweak and I'm trying to figure it out. But that was actually one of my questions. So you answered one of my questions. I was gonna say an advice. The advice, and you that's what you said. Find what you're doing, find what you want to do, and just to give you some inspiration. She hasn't done it yet, and I don't know if she wants to share this, but I'm gonna share it. I might get in trouble later. My wife actually, so my father-in-law, he did the same thing your dad did. He films everything, but it's more so he mostly takes pictures, but he also films. So they have films from them growing up and her brother playing video games and stuff. So she was thinking about doing something in a different, like same kind of style, but just nostalgic of like old playgrounds, old restaurants, and like going back to something like nostalgic places and themes of
just like growing up in the 80s, 90s.
Yeah, that's right.
That's cool. That's great. I've thought about that too, as far as like I have that stuff that's not just video games, and I haven't shown all of it, but it's kind of hard because I created this channel with retro gaming at its center and its focus. So I really haven't dived into like the non-retro gaming stories and footage. And maybe I will one day, but I think that's great that she has that, and it could be a really cool channel. There's a channel out there I forget their name right now. I'd have to look it up, but it's a husband and wife, and they
something for everything probably out there.
yeah they tell all these old stories, and the wife has this really cool footage of her sisters filming them do a tour of their house like in 1989.
Oh wow!
And they're from like Dallas too. I think or like the Dallas area. Yeah, and I thought it was so cool because it was a cool tour. And she goes at one point, she's in her house and she's like, and here's like my Nintendo and blah blah blah. And then they keep going, and you see like the cartridges and stuff. And but yeah, I mean,
that's awesome.
There's a great chance to find people and to really share something awesome when you have old footage like that. I know that people are really looking for that. They're looking for that kind of trip back in time.
Absolutely, especially now. I mean, everything I'm seeing so many people talk about 90s and stuff. I want to go through some of these. Most people are just like commenting. It's not as much questions, but a retro cart collector. If you guys get a chance to check out his channel, if somebody hasn't already put it in there, said games are a little slices of life memories for a lot of us, and it's awesome to see how you present it through your videos. So yeah, that's something I was saying. Video games, see, this is really cool because he shared his testimony with me. This nerd, video games have kept me away from addiction and having friends. So so I don't know if he's saying keep him away from having friends or keep him away. knowing this nerd, he probably had to add a little humor in there, but he might it's helped to make friends. He's kind of like me. He'll throw something in there that you're not sure if it's serious or not.
That's fine.
So Reseller Madness. Also check out his channel, guys. $20 game can last me months, but $20 movies that just 2 hours. Absolutely right. Let's see. Games are like great books that we have read or music we listen to. Yes. So Birch Beats does a lot of like covers, and he does like get on the guitar and sing songs, and he'll sing a lot of songs from the 90s and 80s, even 70s. But he's done some stuff just for me. I asked him if he would do some songs like "Save Tonight" by Eagle Eye Cherry. Do you remember that song?
Oh yeah.
So just hearing that stuff brings you back. Let me ask you some questions, man, because I know and I'm going to keep. If you see something in the chat while I'm asking, please grab it.
Sure, yeah.
And so I would. I gotta remove somebody really quick.
Yeah.
So if I can find it. Oh, it's already been deleted. Thank you guys. There's a few trolls that come on, and you know how that is, though. I'm sure.
I do.
just wave and move along. What does it say? Wave and carry on. So tell me a little bit about. Let me get here. When you let's see, make sure I ask the right one here. This is YouTube your full-time gig, or do you got if you're okay talking about that, or do you got a job outside of that? And if it's not, do you want to make it a full-time?
So no, it's not. And it's become kind of like a very nice extra type of thing. I still work full-time, but definitely at the growth that we've seen over the years, and just that has been a huge blessing because it is an extra source of income, but it's not enough to support my family full time. Yeah. So I stay employed and full time, and I mean, if it ever became a full time thing, I don't know. Honestly, I don't even know if I would. I feel like it might be one of these things where like I'm still like doing full time, maybe in a smaller capacity, and I don't know. We'll just see. It's kind of hard to do that and to rely completely on YouTube.
Sure,
it's tough to do that.
You never know though.
Yeah, you never know.
I mean, it does keep a lot. I know it keeps you busy.
Yeah. Now, busy, very busy.
Didn't you? This wasn't one of the questions, but haven't you filmed some pretty famous people interviews in the past? Haven't you? Or am I thinking? Or was that? Haven't you filmed some famous people in the past? I was thinking you said you have. Because you worked for a company or something, didn't you?
I don't know if filmed famous people. I've I don't know in what capacity. Do you remember what I told you?
I can't remember. I think you did an interview for like a wrestler or something. Did you do that?
Oh yeah. I actually shot his testimony video. It was,
that's right. Yeah, I just remember something about a wrestler. So
yeah. Tully Blanchard, one of the four horsemen of the apocalypse in wrestling.
That's wild.
I shot his testimony. You can find it online. It's his faith testimony.
I'm gonna try to put it up in the. So you filmed that?
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, you can find it online. It's originally was shot for a company. So my dad and his best friend, business partner, owned a company that did marketing and advertising here in the Houston area, and they right after we lost Dad, actually, when I shot this video, they had gotten a client called I'mAWitness.com, and it was trying to be kind of like a YouTube, but for like a Christian YouTube.
Yeah.
And I filmed this video, his testimony. He came in. I can't remember what the connection was, but he came in. It was so cool to meet him. I knew Ric Flair, which was his partner in wrestling. I knew him a lot more than I knew Tully Blanchard himself, but I, of course, knew Tully Blanchard, having watched wrestling growing up, and it was really wild to film that video. And I was shocked that video is still online, and I think it's got over 1 million views or something.
That's wild. I'm trying to find. It's probably, is it off of YouTube?
It's on YouTube.
Man, send it to me, and that would be cool. Because
if you search like Tully Blanchard testimony. It'll pop.
I found something about he speaks to inmates at Broad River Correctional. That's not the same thing, is it?
No, that's different. This is like him on a black background. Let me see if I can.
I'm sure I'll eventually find it. Yeah, if you find it, man, I don't know if you can put it in that chat, but.
Here it is.
Oh, you found it?
Yeah, I found it. Here we go.
Yeah, if you can copy and just put it in the chat, or do you see the chat there?
Yeah, I can put it. You want me to put it in the YouTube chat?
Yeah, I think you can do it through that or the StreamYard. I think it will still send. Oh no, you can't do the public StreamYard ones. I don't know why, but yeah, put it into the YouTube chat if you can.
Okay, here it is.
Let's see. I'm glad you're here, man. I'm glad you're here. Let's see. My favorite easy gamers. While you're getting that, did you put it up there?
Hold on. Let me see if it's the right one.
While you're looking that up,
disregard that other one. It's actually this one, the second one.
So this one he puts up in the chat, guys. This is one that he filmed, so it's pretty wild.
Yeah, it is pretty wild, that it's still around. It's one of the first things I ever filmed.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
and here you are still doing film in some capacity.
Yeah, I still work full time in film production.
Exactly, that's wild.
I don't know if it's actually popping up in the chat. Maybe
it should be. Let me see. Let me go back because I got to go back to the. Let's see.
I think
you might have put it in the private chat. No.
Yeah.
I don't see it in here, but.
Maybe it's catching it. Maybe it's thinking it's spam or something. I don't know.
Yeah, it might be. That might be what it is because I don't see any bot or anything. We'll find it out before it's over. We'll get it up here. Let me read some.
I just did it again. I think it's popping up now.
Let's see. I don't see it yet. I don't know. It'll probably eventually show up. It's yeah, I don't see.
Okay.
We'll eventually find it. Easy Gamer said my favorite part of retro gaming was playing with my dad. When we beat Sonic 2 together, the part where Sonic is falling and is caught by Tails in his plane, that was like the first epic feeling I had. So right on, man, for sure. By the way, Animation Abby's my daughter. She's her and Elijah are starting to do some their own little like animation and games and stuff. So if you guys get a chance to check her out, Animation Abby.
Yeah.
He's got
We watched some of that. It was great.
Oh, cool. Z Squared Gaming. I've just started my channel, less than 50 subs so far. Well, everybody go sub to Z Squared Gaming. I've seen Z Squared Gaming. Where have I met you, man? Because I know at least the name sounds familiar. So 50 subs, that's good, man. Just started, yeah, 50 subs. The Jacobians.
Jacobians is my mod over on my channel on my.
Nice.
Yeah, he's a great guy, great dude. What's up, man?
Coming in, man. Rascal Lucy says I'm more into older retro games: PS1, PS2, GameCube, GBA. My opinion, PS2 had the best library of all. You know, it all depends on who you ask. See, of course, I'm a Saturn guy, if you can see it back there. But Sega Genesis, I love Sega Genesis. I think that was probably some of my. Those are probably where most of my. And NES, I had a lot of. That just brings me back to the back in the day. Yeah, just search there. It is. That just showed up. Tully Blanchard testimony. Let's go. I'm getting sidetracked, man. That's easy for me to do.
No, me too.
Was the channel, let me ask you this, and I know you talked a little bit about this, was the channel started as an inspiration, like because of your dad, or did it kind of morph into that as you were doing it?
It definitely morphed into it.
Okay.
As far as if you want to trace it back to like the original incarnation.
Yeah, I know you talked about like the games and getting into the.
Yeah, there was an outlet for film and just doing something with retro games, and then at one point I put up some of the old family footage, and I honestly put it up because I was hard up for content, and I was like, well, maybe the people will like this clip of me and my dad. Yeah, like I don't have to edit any of this. I can just kind of like do a little voiceover. There's not a lot of fancy editing involved, and
yeah,
I made it real simple. It was just the majority of it was just a clip of me and dad doing it's called the Genesis Power Team. And we're sitting on the couch promoting a Sega Genesis in 1991 for my cousins. We're like trying to sell them on it because they had a Nintendo.
Power Edge.
Yep.
It's that, right?
Dad flips the switch and he turns on his like used car salesman voice.
Yeah.
Actually, you know what that was? I'll tell you what he's doing in that when he's doing like the whole.
Genesis, the Power Edge. Is that what you're talking about?
And it's like, the way he's talking and everything, he turned on Dan Aykroyd. He was a big Dan Aykroyd fan.
Nice.
And that was his Dan Aykroyd persona, is what he's doing.
Nice.
Like, it's magnificent. It's marvelous. It's like in Ghostbusters when they're doing the call the professionals, Ghostbusters.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
And that's why he was getting into it and everything. That's fun.
Yeah. He used to do that a lot. Like that voice that he does on that Genesis Power Team, that kind of salesman commercial, is very Dan Aykroyd, and he used to do that a lot.
That's great, man. That's awesome. Well, see, that's the thing. That's what gets people is the connection. Kind of, it's like I said. I think I'm trying to word this right because it's going to sound like I'm insulting people, but I'm not. I think something very important when doing channels, obviously you're going to have a niche and you're going to have some area you draw people in that are into that, but you want to try, and something that draws me into channels is not just a niche, but they do something that appeals to people even outside of that. Or if you say niche, however you say it. I say niche, some people say niche.
I say niche, yeah.
Okay, cool. Well, we can work together here, but it pulls people in, and that's something I'm trying to do. I want to, obviously my main people are going to be collectors and resellers and stuff, but I want to pull people that can kind of outside of that I want to try to make it to where people that don't like that kind of stuff or aren't into it can relate.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Oh, Red Dirt Picker, what's up, man? How's it going? Thanks for coming in. If you guys haven't subbed to My Retro Life, go check them out. The internet needs more wholesome. I agree, man. The internet does need more wholesome. He said, more than nostalgia, Tyler's channel hooked me with his family content. I found Tyler's channel as a new dad. Hey, see, exactly. That's what I'm saying. It connects that. 4-year-old girl, the content with his daughter drew me in. I actually saw a lot of people say on your which was your birthday, your birthday live that you did, and you guys, your wife and Hallie, you're all playing Nintendo games. I can't remember what you were playing, but I saw a lot of people saying that's kind of what drew them in, was the whole family.
Yeah, and I think we really need to do another video with Hallie, showing her retro life, I guess, or the next generation sort of thing, because
Abigail thought she was hoping that actually she really wanted to meet Hallie. So
I know. No, there's definitely people that actually found the channel through some of those videos that Hallie was featured. She started. And we need to do some more. We've been so busy. Just moved into a new house.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
So it's been real busy. Trips, Long Island.
I don't know how long this was. Tom, thanks for coming in. Sorry.
But we're gonna get around to doing more of the Hallie stuff, because there's great games and stuff that she's gotten and loves playing. And we talked about maybe doing a Luigi's Mansion 3 review for Halloween. So we'll see.
Oh wow! Nice.
Yep.
That would be fun. That would be like that. What do you think about the new? Are you going to get the new Mario RPG?
Oh yeah, that's going to be like what I tell my wife and my daughter. Like, if you get me something for Christmas, make it Mario RPG. Because that one, or maybe Sonic, the new Sonic game. But there's a lot of great new titles coming out that Hallie and I are both really excited about.
There's a whole bunch, and I love that they're redoing everything. Let's see. Okay, here we go. I'm getting to some new questions here. How was it playing so many imports? Oh yeah, that's something I've wanted to know. Good question, man. Thanks, Tyler. How was it playing so many imports, especially GameCube and Dreamcast imports, with the language barriers? Tyler shows on his videos how his dad would import systems months before U.S. releases. I know you, because you were showing me that, or talking to me about that, was your Japanese imports and stuff. So you want to kind of share a little bit about that?
Yeah, I mean, we used to, so specifically that era, GameCube, Dreamcast, we would print off, and it's funny, I go into this on the next video I'm putting out. Next video I'm putting out is Dad's favorite horror video games.
Oh, nice.
But we used to print out game facts, like walkthroughs. I don't know if you remember game facts, like game FAQs.
Yeah.
And we would print them out for like the Japanese games that we would get in that era, GameCube, Dreamcast. Specifically, I remember doing that for Luigi's Mansion, the first one.
Yeah.
And other games. Anytime there was a language barrier, we'd go print out the game FAQ or a walkthrough online. And sometimes we'd Dad would kind of get it bound at Kinko's. And nice book,
like a laminate almost.
Yeah, a little bit more like permanent and keeping it nice, And we would play games like that. That was how I beat Luigi's Mansion was through with a walkthrough, printing it out.
Do you still have some of that? Like the?
Oh, I wish I did have those printouts. That'd be great.
Did you didn't play any import like RPGs where it's super story based? Did you Japanese, or did you?
Yeah, I played a handful. I wasn't like an RPG gamer, but I played a nice chunk of RPGs. Anything from like Lunar, the Silver Star Story, Eternal Blue, which was the sequel. I played Skies of Arcadia. I never beat it. Wild Arms was a great one on PS1 that I never played.
You didn't do any Japanese though, did you?
Oh, what's that? I'm sorry.
You didn't do any imported ones of those though, did you?
No, I'm sorry. I missed your question.
No,
Yeah, no, I never did the ones that were fully in Japanese. No.
yeah, I was thinking I don't know how you could do that unless you could read.
Yeah, that would have been a bit too much. Yeah.
James actually asked a pretty good question. James, shout out to James. He said, "Do you feel like people who are intimidated by the price of Saturn collecting?" And I guess that could go with not just Saturn, but other games, because I know GameCube and others. But if so, do you think they need some education on Japanese releases and a? See, I'm not as familiar with this, so he's bringing up the. You probably know a little bit more about this, though. The KAI.
I don't know the Kai cart. I don't really know what that is, but I think I know what he's talking about, like an action replay kind of cart.
Yeah.
Cartridge that can play the games, the Japanese games on a. That's what we used to do. We used to have a RAM cart, and it was also bundled with like action replay, and it would allow you to play Japanese games on your Sega Saturn, because the cartridge slot that's on the Sega Saturn, you could utilize that. And I would say, as far as that question goes, it is very intimidating. It's very. I mean, the price of Saturn collecting is through the roof. And, I would say unless you've like gotten into a nice flow of flipping and you know, hey, I'm going to flip this. I'm going to have that money. I'm going to allocate that for this. Unless you're very like suave about it, and it can be very expensive. So
doing that, it can be very expensive.
Yeah, and so I totally understand that maybe you'd want to emulate or something like that. But yeah, it's tough. The Japanese games are a lot more affordable, and I would definitely say if you don't have the money to drop on the very expensive Saturn games, definitely go the Japanese route, because there's a lot of Japanese Saturn games that play just as well. There's no language barrier. Like there's no. Yeah, that would be great.
Because I'm a reseller and a collector, but I totally agree with that. It's I'm not trying to say no, only do the U.S. man. I say I guess it depends on what you're trying to get into, but if you can get it for cheaper, man, I mean, why not? Especially, and I'll say this: the Japanese art is really cool, and it's different. It's on the smaller jewel cases, but it's I think even if you're just like wanting it for a collection piece, like to look at, really cool. Of course, what about the like translating? Like, I mean, is there something with that? See, I'm not as familiar with that, and that may be kind of what he's talking about. He may say that later on in the chat.
I think that there's fan translations that really help you play like the Japanese games that were maybe the RPGs that you can get those on a ROM, like with a patch. And a lot of people put those on like Evercarts or Everdrives. I don't really do the Everdrive thing, but I think it's cool. I think my cousin Manny, he does Everdrives. And,
for real. Yeah, he also has tons of physical copies of everything too.
Yeah.
I know some people just have the physical copies merely for collection, and then they have everything on an Everdrive or whatever.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, keep it nice. I think people these days are going the grading route, like a lot of people grading.
Yeah. Let's see. I might have missed this. Oh no! It says, "Thank you for supporting her. I can tell you that made her day. Everyone who bought from her." Right on. I might have missed something earlier in the chat, but Aykroyd was an improv master. Absolutely. Abigail wants to see you guys. So.
I know. I saw that. Well, next time y'all are in town, come on over.
Absolutely. Oh, yeah, definitely. James, I'm not talking about you. No, James is cool, man. James is a good dude. I don't mean that, James. I don't want to give you a bad reputation of being a good dude. No, man, the trolls I told you about that are just ridiculous. I'm glad they didn't say anything ridiculous, but I could, how you can just tell they're trying to find their way in. And so you'll accept them, but they're not. They're not right.
They'll find anything to hate on.
I know, man. It's crazy. And then the ones that I'm talking about are just a little weird, but I thought they were gone. I haven't seen them in over a month, but here.
Oh, like the bots?
No, there's some guys that they just go to people's. It doesn't matter what it is. They go to people's channels and they say the most filthy things.
Oh yeah.
Like they came on my Discord and tried putting up a bunch of like racist stuff and dirty stuff and so.
Yeah. I've seen this. Yeah.
And since I'm a Christian, they'll they'll have some like stuff like Persona. We talked about this. They'll bring up Persona, and they'll bring what about this and that, and they'll make like funny. It doesn't bother me. I can deal with it, but I don't want other people being harassed or bothered by them. That's why I just tell them to go. Like they can say whatever they want. I don't get offended very easily. I can handle trolls, but when you got people in trying to watch you and talk to you, they take up the space. So Tyler wants the new Sonic, even if he hates the name. What is the name of the new Sonic? I haven't seen it.
Like Sonic Superstars, I think, right? Yeah, I was telling Jacoby.
I don't like Sonic Frontiers was a good name though.
Sonic Frontiers is great. I felt like they should have called it Sonic Fusion or something like that.
Yeah.
Because it's supposed to be like a fusing of I don't know, something like that. I don't like Superstars. Just sounds like another superstar racing. Like the racing games are often called Superstars. I'm not. I feel like it's very generic sounding.
Sonic Colors.
Nothing edgy about it. Like Fusion. See, I actually really like the Sonic games that had kind of a edginess to them. Because Sonic always did. Sonic was
a teen punk kind of.
Yeah. So like my favorite Sonic games are like Sonic CD that was kind of like dark overtones and like the music and the art style and the metal Sonic you're fighting in.
That's right. And then you had Shadow,
Yeah, Shadow and Sonic Adventure. Love that stuff. But yeah, Sonic Superstars sounds like some like budget like throwaway. I don't know. I don't like the name.
Might be really good. Retro. I don't know.
Yeah.
He might be talking to me because I've talked to my wife about this. I'm not sure yet. He's headed down to Really Rad Weekend. Are you going to Really Rad?
Really Rad Weekend. I'm going to Really Rad Weekend.
Really Rad Weekend. Are you going?
Yes, I am going to Really Rad Weekend.
I had to pick out how you say it.
Yeah, I had to make sure I enunciated that right. I was going to say really rad.
That's what I did.
Yeah, that's really cool. Are you going to that?
We're talking about it. I might. It's next month, right?
Yeah.
In Florida.
Florida. Yep.
Yeah, I'm thinking about it because I know a lot of people in Retro Kart. He's up in, he's up in. Well, I don't know if he wants me to tell where he lives, but he's way up north, and so he's going to be going all the way down to Florida. So he's going a long way, and I thought that'd be really cool to connect with him as well. That's something I really like doing is connecting with people. Tyler, what type of film is your back? But yes, sorry, I didn't. I'm going to try. Man. I'm going to try to go there, and Tyler will be there, so connect with him there.
Yeah.
Red Dirt Picker said, "What type of film is your background in?" Awesome to have you on here. I've worked in film for 25 plus years, ready to retire.
Oh, cool. Yeah, no, I work in, I've worked for big churches for a very long time now. I do I'm a video manager at one of the big churches here in the Houston area. And I do all of their, I manage a team that does all their video content. So documentary style, I've done music videos, I've done commercials, that sort of thing. Mainly Houston local stuff. I'd say that honestly, the stuff I've done that's had the farthest reach has been YouTube. But definitely here in the local Houston area, and through I've worked at a number of different big mega churches doing all their video stuff for almost 10 years now. Yeah.
Wow. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and you enjoy it.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. Telling people stories
Yeah,
hearing their heart, hearing their faith and how God changed their lives, and
absolutely.
being able to
Yeah.
capture that and tell that is awesome.
Yeah. Jacobian said Tyler's cousins. Yeah, actually, you told me that. I think you mentioned. Well, you talked about that in some of your videos. Actually, that your dad wasn't into them, but your cousins played them. See, that's me. I'm more of an RPG. Of course, I like fun. We play Cooking Mama. Man, I love Cooking Mama.
Yeah.
Dude, Cooking Mama is so much fun. What's funny is we have a Dance Revolution Extreme for sale, and then I have the Dance Pad. And I was like, man, I haven't played this because my son was playing the clean version of because there's some bad titles in was it Friday Night Funkin'? I don't know if you've heard of that.
No.
It's like a stream game, and it's like one of the Dance heroes that pop up.
Yeah.
And this would be so much better with the Dance Pad, and I was like, wait, we have one. So I took it off the. We've been playing Dance Revolution. Amber put up a video on Instagram, me looking like
that's cool. My cousin Mikey was a Dance DDR pro. He was so good.
That's awesome.
Yeah, he actually lost like tons of weight doing it back in the day.
Well, that's another thing I was thinking, man, because I try to go out walking or doing some exercise here, and then I get sidetracked, and I'm like, well, here's a way I can play with the kids. So it's while I'm playing with them or sitting down, it's like now I can get exercise, and then it's exercise for all of us, and it's fun. We're doing it all together. I'm not having because when I go exercise, I know it sounds horrible, but I like to go by myself. That's not horrible.
Yeah, it's kind of like a me time.
Yeah, and or if I'm wanting to go faster, or if I'm wanting to do more.
Yeah, you got your own pace. Yeah.
And so
I feel that. I'm very much like that too.
Yeah, I'm sure most people probably are.
Yeah.
Let's see. Reseller Man said, "Oh yeah," because I was saying to check out his stuff. Few Hartwell, he's working on his videos. Well, let me, as I'm looking through these, got a few questions here. You might have kind of answered this, but and if this isn't too, if this is too much, I know I sent you some of these beforehand, but when you're editing videos, because this is something I've wondered, I've thought about this, like when you're editing the videos, do you feel, especially when there's something very emotional, do you feel like entranced into it? Does it bring you back to a place of emotions, or are you able to like compartmentalize it? Like, okay, I'm making a video, and then once you watch the video, it brings up memories, or like, how do you do that? Is it hard sometimes? Or is it a coping? Does it help? Does it help you? Like,
it's weird. Usually it's like the finished product that, and when I kind of sit back and watch it, it'll get to me. And I know there's some episodes I've done where there's a clip or some footage of Dad in particular where it's maybe me and him in it, and it just like, There was one that really wrecked me when I watched it after I was done, or maybe even when I was putting in the clip. It was the episode where I talk about the Christmas of '91 with Super Sega Genesis, and there's a shot near the end of the video where I show a moment where Dad lifts me up to put the star on top of the Christmas tree. And that was a tradition that we had every year, and it, something very personal and surrounded with great memories like Christmas. And like I was only 5 years old, and it was just such a happy time in my life. And there I am with my dad, and getting to see him, and the fact that was captured, just like completely wrecked me once after I made that one.
Wow.
So there's been a few times like that. I think honestly, just doing the channel and telling the story has been. It's for me, I know it's been a way of keeping his memory alive, keeping like his spirit alive. And it's like he's not really gone. Like he's still around in some way. I'm like doing this channel with him, and in a weird, crazy way. Like I'm the editor, he's the DP, the director of photography. So it's really special and interesting, and I know that once like once I've like told the whole story and I've got all the footage like has been used and stuff, which it hasn't. I haven't told. There's a lot of other episodes still to do. Then I know that like it's gonna be very hard to like close that door.
Sure.
Like I'll still be doing the channel even when the footage has been all used. I'll still be doing the channel and using the footage for a good long time to like just kind of bring people back to those times and almost like use it as B-roll.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's going to be really difficult. I know that once I've kind of done that last video and for a long time I thought the one I did recently but that's not going to be the last one. Obviously, the one I did recently with talking about his
the one with the Castlevania.
Yeah, that one. It's interesting to me that I got that one out of the way, so to speak, as far as like I told that one, I got it off my chest. And I always kind of thought that like that might be the last one I do, but
yeah,
I don't know, I just felt appropriate to do it. So
I hope it's not the last one you did.
No. lots of others in the works.
Let me say, because I'll talk to my wife, and then let me. I'm going to be scrolling through the chat as well.
Thank you.
Because there are some things being said, but I noticed they're like just people communicating with each other. So they're like they're kind of answering other questions, like talking about the ways to download games and stuff. So if I miss it, I'm sorry, but it looks like it's not something directed towards you. So.
Just shout out to Sega Steve's and that's Saturn Steve.
Saturn Steve's in the house. Here we go. Analog Pocket. That has been great to play Japanese game with English translations. Oh, that's cool. Oh, wow. So the fans translate. That's cool. That's really neat. Tip for your saying don't target for kids, because I think because that way you can get more people going in there. So they're older than they are. Anyway, how does she edit better? He said, "How does she edit better than me?" Oh, I think he's talking about my Abigail. Because talking about the editing. Well, she's good. I've been really impressed. Abigail's been doing a really good job editing. Jacobian was talking about how he's the troll master. He gets rid of the trolls quick. So I probably need that. I wanted to. I don't know if I've told a little bit, so I'll just kind of give this brief. Actually, meeting, I've met a lot of people that have the same beliefs as me, right? But I connected with you more than anybody else. I'll just say this completely real, and I hope I don't offend anybody. But a lot of people I connected with more of a networking, hey, let's make videos together. Hey, let's do this. But when I met with you, I connected more. Like I felt like, oh man, he's just a normal guy. He's not trying to push any of this. And so I felt more of like a bond friendship wise. And I'm not saying I won't have that with other people. I haven't met a lot of people, but one of the things is like meeting you and then hearing, I talk about being humbled a lot. Just a brief thing. My brother's really into video games, and I got out of it for a long time. And, then I got into, a lot of people would have been like, video games are evil, and so I had that kind of over me. It's like, well, I'm not into that. My kids might play a few here and there, but they play a lot of games, and I was very nervous about what people would think, and I didn't want to offend anybody. And then me too, I was thinking, why do these grown men play video games so much, and it actually caused me to see my brother differently. And then like talking to you and meeting some other people, God really did something. And now I've been connecting again with my brother. And he's actually coming to visit me not long from in a few weeks. And he's going to stay here and we're going to hang out. So I thought it was really cool. And so that kind of stuff, like, I don't think people realize that. And, without going into all the detail, it's how God has used things outside. And now this sounds like a compromise to some people, outside of my faith, to where he's just using personality traits, things I enjoy, to connect me with people I allowed myself to not be connected with. And so that's been something really cool. Like after I met you, that's kind of happened. And so it's just been really neat games. And so now I'm like, through games, I'm making memories. And it's my cousin also, I sent her some video of me playing Dance Dance and the kids playing Dance Dance. And we started talking. We're like, we need to get back together and go play an old game or something. They were shocked.
Cool, yeah.
My cousin, was kind of upset with me because I do resell still. But when I was first finding the games, it was all about money. I'll just be honest. But then something started happening. And so, I kind of made something mad. It's like, man, this was our childhood. You want to take the stuff and sell it? And then now it's like, man, I'm going back and buying it, even though you have these copies, and I'm keeping it myself. And it's just been a way to connect. So it's been something I didn't understand before, but I do now. So yeah, let me go ahead. You're about to say something.
Oh no, I wasn't. I don't think I was.
Okay, well, I got like 2 more questions because I know we're just kind of chatting. And by the way, everybody, if I haven't hit you, Flipper Dude, what's up, man? Thanks for coming in. Hey, and Melanie, I need you to send me your address because I want to. Melanie's been awesome. She just volunteers to come in and help all the time, so really appreciate it. Oh, happy picker, Lori, what's up? Glad you're here. How was the draft? They were on a draft with Philly Flipper, I think, or Nashville Flipper. That live goes the same time as mine. I'm trying to make sure, see, is there anybody else? Game Junction, what's up? What's up, man? How's it going? Tyler's really killing it with his content. Happy to see his success. Yeah, he just hit silver play button. So silver play, that's what it is, right? 100K. Yeah, feel weird?
It's cool. It's kind of like, I don't know, like there's been a little bit of we've been super busy moving and stuff. But I've also had this feeling of like, gosh, what do I do? Like what content do I need to make and do now? There's been a little bit of a gap here. There's going to be a video this week, but 3 weeks since the last video, and that's a long time for me. So I feel like getting the button in some ways and then moving and all this stuff, I'm like, kind of like, well, it's kind of a much needed break, to be honest.
Yeah.
Because like, man, it take, as you know, man, it's a grind.
Oh man, yeah, it is.
Yeah, it's a grind. So it's cool. I'm really excited to kind of rethink, think about, okay, gosh, you hit a milestone like 100,000, and then you're like, well, do I just keep doing what I've been doing, or should I kind of like give myself a vision for what I want the future of the channel to be? And so I'm definitely in that period of like, okay, well, do I just keep doing the same thing, or do I need to like step it up, or what am I going to do next, kind of thing? Like, what's the next step? Yeah, so
I think that's good because even though consistency grows and consistency keeps an audience, and you connect with them that way, I think it's always good. I think people appreciate, as long as you're not like, there we go. I guess totally shifting complete gears. But like, I think people like to see that you care enough for the content you're putting out.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. Brother and sister in faith really helps with connecting with people. He said, Keith, I thought we had what we had was special. What in the world? Saturn Steve's hilarious. You bet you know Saturn Steve.
Oh yeah.
I knew if Keith didn't put me to sleep, that Tyler would make me cry.
I wish we had more time to hang out, Steve. It was great meeting you in South Carolina.
Okay, so he answered the Kai. He said basically that's what it is, action replay card. So yeah, I would absolutely say that, James. I know you and what's his name, Jack Bandit, is always showing your Japanese stuff. They have I know, like Jack on the Discord, he has all kinds of Japanese Saturn stuff, and they're always talking about that. I don't know too much about it. I never got into that. I'm not saying I won't. I just don't know much about it. And I'm a weirdo that I enjoy the like building the budget and finding stuff.
Oh yeah, that's cool. I mean,
He said, Abby said, we still do have something, Steve. We're still homies. So, what were you saying, man? I'm sorry.
oh no, I was just saying, yeah, that it's a gifting to do the kind of content you do, and even aside from it being content, just do what you do with the reselling and stuff. Like that's a gift unto itself. Something that I'm really not that good at, honestly. I guess I could maybe get good at it, but it takes a lot of time and effort.
It definitely does.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, it definitely does. It's and then knowing like, I guess knowing like how do you want to do it, and are you looking at most profitability or fastest moving, or then do you want to sell just a niche, or do you want to have a broad spectrum? Well, let me ask. I'm going to have just a few more questions here because we're approaching 10 o'clock. We might go a few minutes over, but I'll try to move because I know.
Sure, yeah.
Everybody. But it's one here is, what are your top three, whether it's retro gaming, reselling, evangelism, traveling, whatever it is, what are your three top YouTube channels that you watch? And or do you even watch YouTube? Because I know some people like make YouTube, but they don't have the time to watch. So
yeah, I always say, and it's cool that we know each other. We talk. We're friends. At GameSack, Joe Redifer and his channel is my gold standard when it comes to like retro gaming YouTube. Like I'm a fan of his channel, and I watch his episodes, every episode he puts out. It's such a giant, I know have you seen it?
Yeah, I've seen him before. Okay, I'm putting him up in the chat.
His videos are so well edited and just jam packed with games. As far as he takes a topic and he just one game after another with wonderful animations, like great intros, segues, and outros, and you, like if you just click on one of his videos where he's going to talk about, let's say, games left in Japan, you're gonna be educated on games that you never knew came out, and it's all done in just very, very great editing and content, and his delivery is fun. It's very funny. I find his commentary very funny, his writing. It's very dry sense of humor he has.
Commenting on this thing now.
Yeah, love GameSack. To me, that's my favorite by far. And then I think other channels and stuff like, of course, like James. I still watch like Angry Video Game Nerd stuff. Obviously, he curses a lot. I don't recommend it for anybody who really doesn't want to hear profanity and stuff. But I still think that his content is so well produced.
Oh yeah, I agree. He's very smart with what he does. Very creative.
And he's always been an inspiration. So I'm always checking out like his new stuff to see what he's done next. And then let's see. Pickin Preacher. I mean, man.
No, yeah, whatever.
No, I really like your stuff's amazing. And I told you before, you're on something here, and you have a mission, and I can't wait to watch you continue.
Man, I appreciate it. For sure.
Yeah, it's fantastic. Another one, non-gaming related, I'd say, is I really like this. What's his name? This is Dan Bell. I'm a huge fan. It's weird of
what does he do?
Abandoned malls and abandoned places.
Oh, do you watch Big Banks?
No, I haven't.
I'm gonna send you. I'm gonna text you later.
Send me that. Yeah.
That's yeah. I love that kind of stuff. So you watch like abandoned like malls or abandoned mansions? You ever watch? Dude, that's hilarious. Okay, no wonder we're friends. So I watched that. You asked my wife. She's like, "Why do you watch this stuff?" I'm like, "I don't know. It's so cool to watch."
Yeah, I know. It's so funny. I think people think I'm crazy. I remember I told one of my supervisors many years ago that I watched Dan Bell and his like abandoned malls, and he's like, abandoned malls? Like,
Yeah, I love
he looked at me like I was crazy. I'm like, I'm telling you, like, this is fascinating stuff.
Dude, I love it. There's a guy who I forget their name, but they went to like an old mall in Japan, and they found all these like old houses. Where is it? Where's that in Japan? Where it's like got tons. I know there's all kinds of places. Was it Nagasaki? Where there's like tons
yeah.
And they went in and they were finding like in homes, because it's got radiation, so they can't get it, but like boxes full of old games and.
Oh, I gotta check that out.
I wish I could. If I find it, I'll send you a text. But Big Bank, he does similar stuff, and he's actually a Christian guy. Big Banks.
Cool.
And but I just put that up in the chat. That's awesome, man. That's funny that because I always watch that kind of stuff. Favorite console. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Oh no, yeah. I was gonna say one other one that I
really
like.
With the camera, I didn't say, hey, I had you highlighted. Thanks for coming in. I really appreciate it.
I really love. I see Sega Steve. So we got Saturn Steve and Sega Steve in the chat. Sega Steve is an amazing guy that he's a friend of mine from here in the Houston area.
Michael K came on too. Do you know Michael K?
Yeah, Michael K. He watches. I see him. Well, actually, he's got a great channel too. Yeah.
Yeah, he does like music videos and stuff.
Yeah. Michael K. Yeah.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
But yeah, I was gonna say another channel I really love is Defunct Land. I don't know if you ever watched Defunct Land, but he does all these documentaries on like Disney attractions and theme parks that have gone away. And anything like defunct and like old amusement park attraction. I guess I have some sort of crazy love of like abandoned and like old and forgotten things.
Do you like liminal spaces type stuff?
Liminal spaces, or
have you seen where it goes through like it's like the old musty yellow carpets that are.
I don't know if I like that, but
he said I don't know if I like that. It's it looked like you go and like seeing like old playgrounds and malls, and well, I guess that's kind of the same. You know how when they walk through and you can see the old musty is more.
The idea of like dystopia.
There you go. You heard that liminal spaces? Have you heard that?
No, I haven't. No.
So of course they make like a whole like almost horror type thing, with the whole back rooms. I don't know if you heard of all that, but they talk about that. But liminal spaces, it's basically like familiar but unfamiliar. It's almost like it's almost like a dream. Like this seems so familiar, but it's not off-putting, but it also feels like something's. I don't know how to explain it, and that's what I think that's something I like about like the old abandoned like theme parks. See, I love that kind of stuff. That's hilarious.
Oh yeah, like I don't know. It's this idea of like our culture and our society, but like I don't know. It's like this weird view of it.
Yeah.
It's all abandoned and
I'm gonna check this Defunct Land out. That's great.
Yeah, Defunct Land is great. Those are documentaries, and they're great to take a look back on, like theme park, and stuff that like has gone to the wayside, forgotten.
Yeah,
he's got a great video. A lot of Disney stuff. He does a real great documentary deep dive on like Disney home video and like the money making that all of that was.
Yeah.
I really like his stuff. It's got great narration.
See, I like it. I like that. What is
Bright Sun Films Jacobians. That's another really good one. Bright Sun Films. He does abandoned stuff as well.
Oh, happy birthday to your. Let's see. Spent the day celebrating my 20-year-old birthday. Currently 8. Is that your? I think that's your son that does like Ninja Warrior stuff. Mama with the camera. Maybe I'm wrong. But well, yeah, I'm glad you're happy. I'm glad you had a good time. Flipper dude, with your lighting, the way it is, you can tell you're a filmmaker. Did you hear that, Tyler?
Sorry. Oh yeah, yeah. Yeah, I always try to do that. Like, I don't like even lighting. I like, and you're right, it's probably the filmmaker in me.
Yeah.
That kind of get a little spill. Now this lighting is it's a little too much shadow, I'd say. But yeah,
I like doing it too. It's just the way I don't have it all. I do like that where you can get the dark on one side. I like that.
Yeah, it's like 3-dimensional lighting is what I call it.
By the way, Flipper dude lives in your town. He works at the NASA.
Oh, okay.
So he's not far from you. Actually, after we got done hanging out with you, I went to meet up with him.
Oh, cool.
So, yeah, he's a good guy. Let's see. Well, I got two more. Let's see. Pure Platinum. Tyler, did your experience importing Japanese video games ever get you interested in checking out any anime?
Yes, I definitely went through a huge anime phase, I'd say. I still like anime, but I don't really watch it anymore. I still really love a lot of the old anime that I used to like. I have great fond memories of watching. Man, I watched some crazy anime back then. Like, we go to the store and try to rent these tapes early on when I first was getting into anime, like at age 13 and stuff. And honestly, some of it was like super inappropriate.
Yeah, I know.
I remember watching. So I remember renting Ninja Scroll as a 13-year-old, thinking nothing of it. Like, my parents let me rent it, and oh my gosh, Ninja Scroll is not for 13-year-olds. I had some major questions after watching it.
Well,
I felt extremely guilty watching it. I actually stopped after this one particular scene, if anybody's seen it. And I went downstairs and I was like, I talked to my dad. I was like, Dad, I don't know if I should be watching this.
Yeah. That's cool of you, man. You're absolutely right, though. I've because I used to be really into that as well, and I still like the stuff like Howl's Moving Castle and Spirited Away and all that.
Oh yeah, what's his name? Filmmaker Miyazaki.
Yeah, that's who it is.
All his stuff's incredible. Yeah, Princess Mononoke.
Yep. That stuff's great.
That stuff's great. I really liked like when I was a teenager. I really liked Bubblegum Crisis.
Oh yeah, I loved all that. What was it Appleseed? Is it
Appleseed? Yeah.
Then I watched. Of course, this one was pretty rough. Was of course I may be thinking now, maybe like, why am I even talking about this? 8 Man. I don't know if you remember that.
And then, I remember the Neo Geo game.
Okay, yeah. Of course, Akira. Iria. Do you remember Iria? She was a bounty hunter. That was awesome. It was
never saw that one.
I can't remember what some alien guy that had his head is like this little head on top of a big head. I don't know how to explain it, but that was real. She was a bounty hunter.
That's cool. Did you ever see 3x3 Eyes?
I haven't seen that.
Yeah, that was one I watched as well.
Did you watch it when it was on the Sci-Fi Channel?
Yep, I remember when it was on the Sci-Fi Channel. Yep.
That's when we watched it, so we would record it. Cajun Conservative, thanks for coming on, Isaac. He's actually having me on his show soon, and he's going to ask me about like small businesses and stuff. So totally different type of channel, but if you guys are into conservative stuff, then politics and stuff, check it out. But he's a fellow believer, and he's going to have me on to talk about that. Michael K said GameStack's one of his favorites. Oh, here's Sega Steve. Howdy, gents. Tyler, thanks for a shout out earlier. Question both of y'all. What is the one game you regret selling? Okay, and would like to have back in your life. Okay, I'm trying to think because I have most of the games I did sell. I have back. Do you know what you have? I know you probably have too many.
Well, yeah, I don't regret I don't really regret selling my games because I think, and this is a huge part of it, like I have all the memories on tape and on video, and I just have so much of that it doesn't I don't need the games to remember my childhood. And so that's a huge like gift I have that my dad left behind. And so I think that's allowed me to not really have too much regret of like not having a game anymore. I think honestly, if I answer that question realistically and honestly, it's going to be like Atari Jaguar games and Atari Jaguar collection because that console is hard to emulate.
Yeah.
It's not really a great emulated console. Like it's not perfect.
Yeah.
And we had an amazing Atari Jaguar collection. And there's something about playing that game console on like the original hardware where it's and the big control pad with the number pad on it and stuff. And yeah, like
I didn't like it back in the day though because it's the big like almost like a. It's just bulky. It's kind of like the turbo, the joystick. Like it's just a big bulky. I didn't understand it back in the day. You talking about the Jaguar controller?
Yeah. The Jaguar controller, definitely an acquired taste.
Yeah. The probably for me actually.
Oh, I see Mort is in the house. What's up, Mort?
Oh, Mort, what's up, man? I would say it was actually a game I bought from you, and I bought it, and I was going to give it as a giveaway. And I'll be honest, man, this is gonna sound really bad. So it's gonna sound really bad. It was Suikoden 2. You remember when I got that from you?
Oh yeah, that was my. So it wasn't mine. It was a friend of mine. I was selling for a friend of mine.
And I ended up giving it away because it was my like 500 subscribers. And I was really pushing it. I think my wife's probably laughing at me right now. I was really pushing it because I was like, man, I want people to know I'm giving away this super awesome grill. Come to the channel, subscribe. And there's like 5 people that shared it. And I was like, dude, I just gave this awesome RPG.
Oh, yeah.
That, and I spent a lot of money on. I mean, actually, you gave me a very good deal, but still, that's a lot of money. And I was like, man, why did I do that? I wish I would have kept it.
That's
but
funny.
That would probably be because we never had a PS1, and I always loved RPGs. My friend had one, and we would always rent the RPGs. So I only got to play a little bit of that stuff, and that's like why why I ended up getting a Lundra. That was one of the first pieces for my collection was a Lundra, and when I finally got that, and I started getting because I didn't have a PS1, so then that's when the Saturn started coming in, but yeah, that would probably be the one that I regret selling. So yeah, that's probably it. There's a few that I would regret, but that would probably be the main one.
Okay. I would say one other one. It would be Lunar, the Silver Star Story Complete, PS1. That and Eternal Blue. I had like the map with it and everything, and it's like one of my favorite games of all time. And it's just I probably it would have been cool to still have that and put it up on the shelf. And have that like on my shelf in the background of my set.
Yeah.
Because the game means a lot to me, and there's a certain thing that I wish I had thought through a little bit more when I sold the collection of like, hey, is there any chance that I'm going to want to buy this again in some point in my life? There's a couple of games like that, but overall, no regrets.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, and I think that's what he means. Like, which one would you wish you wouldn't have? Man, I appreciate it, Steve. He says his humor is as I don't know. I think he's talking about me. His humor is as stupid as mine.
He's talking about GameSack.
Oh, okay. Oh, because his name's Steve. Yeah. Well, of course, Steve wouldn't like my content. He's not talking nice about me.
Oh no, maybe he is talking about you.
Oh no, I'm being funny because we always pick on each other. So.
Okay.
Is that GameSack? Is his name Keith?
No, that's
okay. Oh, maybe he is talking about
you. He's probably talking about you.
Pretty nice, is actually.
Yeah.
Steve's
talking about you. He's talking about you.
We have Sega Steve, Saturn Steve, and that Flipper Dude is Steve. This is Dan Bell. This is Dan Bell's a local Maryland guy, so I guess that's near where Green Devil is. Fukushima, maybe that is what it was, Steve. The one I was talking about earlier. Much Stevening happening here. Yep. Okay. Well, I got, like I said, let's see, 2 more questions here. Favorite console, and your favorite video game doesn't have to be on your favorite console, but if you could pick, what would be your favorite console and what would be your favorite video game?
I think, and this is sort of cheating, but like the Genesis with Sega CD and a 32X attached, like that whole thing,
Oh,
that
really?
whole combo, that would be my favorite console. Yeah, the combined amount of games and memories that I have and of playing it, like man, that could just, I could play those forever.
Yeah.
And then, but then on a more practical level, I would say the NES, because the NES was my gateway. There's games on the NES that I could play on repeat over and over again and never get tired of.
Yeah.
So yeah, between Sega Genesis and NES, and then my favorite game is Mega Man 2.
Oh, nice.
Yep.
Yeah. So see, I never got into the Mega Mans. I love the music. It's just that's something I never got into. But I know people think I'm horrible, but I like them. It wasn't something. Yeah, I saw that. It wasn't something that I had growing up. My brother wasn't into it, and so that's usually where I got most of my games.
Yeah.
Speaking of Nintendo, my wife is not a gamer, but I have found her because my kids have a little tiny CRT in their room, my boys, and then the NES, and then they have a few games like Double Dragon, Ninja Gaiden, Super Mario 3, and I find her in there more than once. I find her in there a decent bit by herself playing Super Mario 3. So
there you go.
So Nintendo definitely is something that the NES would definitely keep people.
About the NES music and sound effects and those games, just I don't know, man. It's something that's definitely for me the biggest time travel console. Yeah. Like if I really want to feel like a kid again, and while I'm playing a game, it's probably going to be NES. Yeah. I mean, gosh, just hand me a Nintendo controller and Batman on NES or Mega Man 2. Even Gremlins 2, another Sunsoft. Yeah. Like all those games, man. So many. Legend of Zelda.
There's so many NES games.
Yeah, so many.
There's so many new ones you'll find out about.
Yeah, that one. Yes, I go back and forth definitely on that's why I say I feel like that's the most practical answer for me. Is give me an NES and I'll be fine. If you're talking desert island console, but I think if you take in all the Sega Genesis, Sega CD, 32X, there's more. That for me is a more rich experience.
Yeah,
personally.
Yeah, absolutely. Sega Genesis would be for me.
Mm-hmm.
That was NES does too, but I would say Sega Genesis, even though Saturn's kind of hitting something for me right now. Mm-hmm. Sega Genesis also does, but Sega Genesis has a whole lot of, I was looking back and I was thinking where a lot of my memories, it has a different type of memory, but just memories as a whole would probably be Sega Genesis for me.
Yeah.
I finally got to more comment. Sega Steve asked you a question. He said, Tyler, you remember that super sweet YouTube channel you hit me to, GTV Japan?
Yeah, it's a great channel. Great channel. Retro gaming themed content creator he does his stuff he lives in Japan, and great documentary style stuff.
Actually, I think I'm subscribed to him.
Yeah, great content.
What's it called?
I highly recommend it. He's an American that lives in Japan, and he does documentaries. His stuff is not unlike gaming historian.
Yeah,
the style, the content.
Oh yeah, I've definitely seen this.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not subscribed though. I probably should.
There's another fantastic channel, Gaming Historian, of course.
Oh yeah. Let's see. More. I finally said, hey, which has the best? This is gonna be my last one, guys, because I haven't caught up, so I apologize if I haven't caught up to everybody. But this is my last question from the audience, and then I have my last question here after that. Which decade had the better malls, 80s or 90s?
80s.
80s. All right.
There's something about an 80s mall, man. It I don't know. I just get so many great memories and vibes and feels. I mean, I'm 37, so yeah. I didn't grow up in the 80s. Really, I was let's see, I was 3 in 1989, but I feel like yeah. I feel like I lived I have memories of the 80s, and then a lot of the early stuff of the early 90s still kind of felt like the 80s. So
yeah, definitely.
I think 80s. I go with the 80s.
Yeah. For me, I guess just because of my memories of Jinkos and Gadzooks with hacky sacks, I'm gonna have to say 90s.
Okay. All right.
Just because of that, because we'd go to the mall and play hacky sack and wear our Jinkos and kickwear and Levi's. So, Bearded King Picker, man, how's it going? All right, man, I'm going to ask you one more question. This is a little bit different. I think you kind of talked about this, but have you ever? I know you said it wasn't something you do or you felt that you were that good at, but have you ever dabbled in reselling or ever thought about it?
I flipped some garage sale stuff that I found, but never really never reselling. Like that wasn't a thing and I really have no interest in it. I don't.
Yeah.
Not in doing it myself. I love watching guys like you and Aaron, Riff.
Yeah.
Do that. But and then of course Retro Rick and Phoenix. There's just so it's so cool that what y'all do, those kind of channels, like I agree. I go back to what I said earlier. It takes a certain gifting, I feel like, to be able to do that. I feel like that is not a gifting I have. My gifting, if anything, is like storytelling and stuff like that.
Yeah. Oh, and you do a great job at it. You mentioned, I don't know if you saw, but Rick actually just bought something. I was in it. He put up a new video. I was in it. That he gave me like 50 subscribers today.
Oh, cool.
Where he bought some like DS from me and something else. I don't even remember. I'm gonna be honest. When he had the camera on me, and I had no problem with it, but when he had the camera on me, I was like, he's here. What is he saying? Because if anybody, when you meet somebody and you see them on videos, even though when you're just talking, everything's cool, but I was kind of like, sure, that sounds like a good deal, which it was. It was definitely way more than I definitely got plenty of my margins, and it moved some inventory for me, so I was absolutely happy. But I don't even remember what it was. I actually texted him and was like, what did you buy again? I forgot. I couldn't remember. Well, man, I'm like I said, I'm pretty sure everybody here knows. Oh, hold on. Mort has a question. What's your favorite lighting to pose for a photo in?
Lighting. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I don't know, man. Posing, like, I don't know. Honestly, I haven't posted enough photos, I feel like, to give a good answer to that.
Yeah.
But I was talking about it earlier. I love this kind of lighting. Honestly, this
lighting.
I would need to. This is probably a little bit better. Yeah, like this. I would tone down the light a little bit. It's a little hot on my face, but I like creating that kind of sculpted. That, like, when you can do that, and that's a little bit more like the way I would want it. And it needs some fill over here. This is too dark.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's a little bit better. But yeah, I like that, creating that kind of shadow.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I watch videos on it. I'm still learning about all that. Yeah, I'll be honest. I wouldn't even say starstruck, but more so, and I don't want to say intimidated, but there's the part of like, okay, wow, I'm getting, because I would, call me clout chaser or whatever as people would say. But I was thinking, well, he's filming me. That means I may be in a video. Am I saying something stupid? That's like I was thinking. I don't know what he's selling.
Oh no.
I couldn't remember. I just like, and then I was like, it's what are people going to think that I'm like a? Because you always get that, like a person sells their stuff for cheaper to a reseller, and they get criticized for selling too low. But yet, if they sell too high, they're scummy. So whatever it's a lose-lose situation. So I was thinking, man, whatever is being said here is gonna, somebody's gonna say something about it, and so my mind was all over the place. So I was just like, I know he's not gonna. I knew he wasn't gonna rip me off. And then whenever I looked at it, I was like, oh no, he didn't. That was great. That was
Rick's
more than enough because I put it up for a decent amount, because it's a convention. So what I knew he wasn't just saying, because his son said 25. Of course, that's his son would just throw it out numbers. It was funny, man. Saturn Six would always say some Steven Rick's videos. It's a must. Hey, that's that goofy humor we have.
Yeah.
Well, I'm guys. If I didn't say able to, communicate to everybody, I do my best. We do our best here. But I appreciate everybody coming in. Tyler, thanks for coming on, man. Really means a lot. Share with them, two things here or a few things. Something new that you're working on that you have in the works, and how can they get in touch with you more? Like, is it just YouTube? Can they find you on Discord, Instagram? Are there other ways that they can connect with you?
There is a Discord server, yeah. There's a Discord server for My Retro Life, but it's kind of hard to find. You have to there's like a link I have in my videos if you go to my videos in the description. But I'd say you search on X, I guess we're calling it now. You'll find me on there, which is Twitter. It's X now. And Facebook, of course, and stuff like that. But obviously, YouTube is the big one that is the main social media. The main content goes through there. And working on it's My Retro Life. Just search that, you'll find it.
I just your social links here.
Yeah, thank you.
I'm putting them all up.
Yeah, I'm working on a video right now for the Halloween season. That's the top 10 horror games that Dad played and beat. That's the hook there, is that he didn't just love these games, he actually played them and beat them. And in the video, I'm recounting and recalling just how it was watching him beat these games and play them. And it's a top 10. So I always have a fun time doing those. It's always fun to do top 10s and stuff like that. And
that's in honor of your dad as well, so that would be cool.
Yes, it's going to be fun going down memory lane talking about that. There's certain games in there. I don't know. I'm going to do my best to censor certain imagery because it's horror games, and there's some games in there. Even though these are older games, I think the oldest we get is like PlayStation 2.
Did he do Splatterhouse?
Yeah, Splatterhouse is on there. One of them, one of the Splatterhouse games. I won't say which one.
Yeah, I ended up. I had the TurboGrafx one. That was the one I sold just because it was just a little too much for me to keep here. Even though it's a super cool piece, I was like, well, I'm never gonna play it here. So I ended up selling it, and I sold. Retro Basher Mike with I don't know if you know him. He does stuff with AC with classic games. He actually Nathaniel bought it from me.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, but
there's
go ahead.
And lots of others in the works. There's going to be another one down the pipeline, probably for early November. That is, I did the video recently on my dad's losing my dad in the game I was playing when we lost him. Castlevania, that's been the most recent video. Well, there's going to be a sort of sequel to that episode, and it's about talking about the game that I bought and played after. The first one I bought and played after he passed away.
Oh, wow.
And how that has very special meaning as well. That one, actually, I might even have a harder time doing that one.
Oh, wow. So you're going to move us all to tears again.
Yeah, I'm going to do that. I'm getting it all out of my system.
Sure, hey, that's awesome. I think people love it, man. I was reading the comments, so I think that's cool. Your video you did with I forget his name about the TurboGrafx, where he's just like weeping. That was pretty hard, man, because like just to see people, to see them express themselves. I see that lighting. That lighting actually looks almost like you're a painting right now. So that lighting right there is a really good. When you were looking down, it made you look like a painting almost. So.
Oh wow!
Oh wow! Check this out. So this is funny. Hey, Preach! I bought your Splatterhouse TurboGrafx 16. Nathaniel bought it from you for me at the Arkansas Retro Expo. That's funny. Oh well, thanks, man. I appreciate it. I didn't know that. So, did you see it? Because Nathaniel bought it from me, but he bought it because Steve was buying it. So that's who I actually sold it to, was Sega Steve. That's funny. Well, I appreciate it, man. Thanks for buying it. But
cool.
Anyways, guys, go check out my Retro Life. If you're not into video games, his content, like I said, you don't have to be into video games to like it, because there's the storytelling and the, I guess, family and bond. It hits you a certain way, and most people in some way are connected to video games and remember that in their family. So yeah, go check out his channel, My Retro Life. It's easy to find. We've been putting up links all throughout. I'll put it up one more time, and in fact, I'll just go ahead and link them straight to the to your newest video you have currently, and the one with your dad and Castlevania.
Okay, thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Yeah, for sure. So go ahead and subscribe to him. Check him out. Thanks everybody for coming in. New people on here. I won't say face that. I can't see your faces, but everybody that's come on, all of you that have been supporting the channel for a year now. People from all different types of, resellers, non-resellers, whatever. I really appreciate all the support, guys. Yeah, definitely. And Coco said that too earlier. I didn't click on it. Where is Coco? Super great show. Thanks. She's super awesome. You guys get a chance to check out Coco and Chewy as well. She does pickups. She goes and does like garage sales and estate sales and picks up and resells. And go check her out. And she's super supportive. Get her to 1,000 subscribers. She's on her way. She's almost to 600 right now. So appreciate it, guys. Was there anything else you wanted to say, man, before we sign off again?
That's it. Just keep doing what you're doing, man. And thank you for having me on.
Yeah, for sure. I appreciate it. Well, thanks, guys. Everybody have a good night. And I may wait for a while as this ends. So have a good night, guys. Thanks so much.